Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. For those who are new here, hello, my name is Dion, a photographer here in New York City, and I urge you guys to check out my work and see what I do. That's on my IG, that's on my Twitter. It is all linked below for your convenience. Now, for today's video, I want to talk about my new camera setup as a photographer. If you're new to this page, you may not know this, but most of my content is me reviewing photo shoots that other photographers have done with these K-pop idols. And I haven't done many videos, or maybe none at all, of me as a photographer, my point of view using camera, behind the scenes of my photo shoot. And I've always planned to do that, but it just always got away from me. And I decided this summer 2025, that I would start doing that and making content like that because I love seeing this kind of content from other creators. So I thought I would just do some myself. And for today's video, we are going to talk about my new camera setup. Now, if you didn't know, I'm a Nikon shooter. I've always been. I started doing photography around 20. I've always done photography, but getting my own DSLR camera was in 2011. I worked at a photography studio in Orlando, Florida, in the Florida Mall, and the camera they had was the Nikon D90. And there I learned to shoot families, couples, kids, maternity, business headshots. Sometimes during Easter we'll have like the bunnies, so like with animals. I learned the basics of photography there and how to direct people. And I still carry some of those lessons to this day. I know it's been years since then, but I'm able to do all those things because of that job. I want to say maybe several months in after getting that job, I got my first camera. It was a Nikon D3100. It was like the entry level camera they had. And I think in 2014 or 2015, my grandmother, she's the greatest, got me my second camera actually, because I got that first one. The second camera, which was and still is the Nikon D50. Oh, there we go. Nikon D5200. And I still have it. This is still my tried and true camera. I haven't used it in several years, but I really, really love it because I built my portfolio, my life off of this one camera and off of this one lens. I'll get into the lens in a bit, but this setup right here was my everything. Now, I've been using the mirrorless system. I started with the Nikon Z50. That was my first mirrorless camera. And I just fell in love with using the mirrorless system. It was just a quality of life change for me that I just could not get over. Like I just could not. I was like, "Oh, this is lit. This is lit." Now I've since retired that camera, and I'll tell you why. Maybe in another video, we'll get into that camera. Um, and we're getting to the camera that is the hold on. Oh my gosh, I'm not even prepared. That is the star of the show, which is the Nikon Z50 Mark II. Y'all, I just got this camera late April. It was a birthday gift to myself. Well, I got some birthday money and I decided to put a down payment on this and I'm financing it. And I decided to get this camera because I wanted a new main photo focus camera, right? Right now I'm recording this video on the Nikon Z30 and I've been using this as my hybrid camera for my YouTube videos and my photography for at least over a year. I got it in 2023, so maybe 2 years now. But when this came out, I was like, oh, I definitely might want to get this because I was leaning towards getting the Z5, which is, a full frame camera. However, I just was like, this is a scotch cheaper. And I've been looking at that camera and I told myself the Nikon Z5 will be my next camera, my main camera, because I want to do full frame. But I don't know, the Z50 with the processors, the XP7, I believe. I was like, well, this has a better processor. It is the main processor in the higher tier cameras, so maybe this will be a bit more, and you know what I mean? So I ended up getting it. And I also got a new lens. This is the VILTROX 35mm 1.7. Now, I decided to do this because I've been trying to get back into falling in love with doing photography like I once was. During the pandemic, I had like a little fall from grace, and it hasn't been the same for me. The stuff I've been shooting and how I've been shooting it, I'm just falling on into a habit of taking my pictures in a way that I just don't find enjoyable. And I was like, I'm done doing that. I want to enjoy, I want to really have fun with it again. And I'm not saying I haven't had fun throughout the years shooting stuff. It's just, I know it's been few and far between the content I've been shooting and how I want to shoot it and me enjoying it. So this is me coming back to that, right? And what I mean by that is that this is what essentially is the mirrorless version of my setup with the Nikon D5200, with the kind of like second entry level body with a 35 millimeter prime lens. This is essentially the same setup, just a mirrorless form. And I have to say, I've only had 2 shoots with this camera because I just got it, and this lenses came, last week I think. And I gotta say, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, I probably should have recorded some behind the scenes of me shooting, some top down shots of the camera, like all that stuff. I'm not a tech YouTuber, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do YouTube that way. I can't. But all I can show you is the behind the scenes of me, my point of view of shooting, and the photos I took with this. When I tell you it was a breeze, all I did was get some models from an agency and just do some portraits in the park. That's like my comfort zone. I do plan on going outside of my comfort zone very soon, so just you wait on stuff I just got recently. But I just want to get back to the basics. And here's a shoot. I'm probably showing you the images right now. The behind the scenes shooting with this camera. I shot at f1.7, wide open. I wanted the depth of field. I wanted the all the light to come in. And I shot this red-headed model. And I'm just astounded with the image quality of this lens. This VILTROX 35mm, the autofocus on this, autofocus on the camera itself is really good. I got the Nikon Z30 and I love the autofocus. Like, it's tracking me right now and I love it. But using it on this newer body, I was just like, oh, wait a minute. It's very sticky. It's very like, I had so much fun shooting with this, and these are just simple portraits, nothing like high fashion, high concept, simple portraits in the park. And look at these images. I think they are stunning. I love these, and I love shooting portraits. This is my bread and butter, and I just, like, looking at these images now, I'm just like, oh, this is just such good work. I like looking at my work and thinking it's good. You guys probably looking at this and thinking like it's basic, it's not that crazy, but for me, these look amazing. I just love this, and I just find myself itching to shoot now. It's been a few days since I did this shoot with this model here, and I have to say I'm ready for the next one. I'm ready to rebuild my portfolio and really get back into the groove of things. And I just this is a good start. I don't even regret buying this camera over the Nikon Z5. I'm sure I would have had probably the same experience, but it was cheaper. The lens was only $180, which I was like, excuse me. And I saw so many reviews on the VILTROX 1.7 line of cameras, the Air series I think it's called, and I have to say, this thing is really it. Now, I was like, do I get that 25 millimeter? Is that too wide? I never shot at 25 millimeters. I guess I have, because I have this 17 to 50 Sigma lens on this camera here. So I guess I've technically have shot that focal length, but a set prime at that focal length, I don't know. And I don't know if I'm too hung up on distortion if I got close, but I do get close to my subjects. You can see in the video behind the scenes, I've done that. That's how I shoot. You know what I mean? Like, that's my safe space. And I guess with this new journey I'm on, it's the time for me to really try out different focal lengths. I just don't know if 25 millimeters or 23 would be that much of a difference from the 35. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I'm going to try those lenses, but there is a lens you'll see in my probably next video that I want to unbox and show you guys. I'm really excited about. But yeah, I just want to show you guys some sample pictures, some behind the scenes, some stuff, so you guys can see. I'll probably do another video with the other shoots to give you more feedback on the actual shooting of that day. But I just want to give you a run through of me and my new start or fresh start on photography and what I'm going to be using for that fresh start. And I do want some recommendations because I do love shooting natural light and using a prime lens, and it is summertime in New York City, so I will be outside doing that. But there may be times where I'll have to be shooting some job stuff, so I'll have to shoot some events. Or if I'm in studio, I don't often use, unless it's a big studio with natural light coming in, I don't use the prime lenses in that because it's one focal length and it's a bit easier to just use the zoom lens for that. But I want to know if there's a zoom lens that you guys recommend that I get for the Z mount. I've been kind of waiting for Sigma to do their version of, or an updated version of the 17 to 50, because I do like this lens, but I have to adapt it. And it's a big, chunky, heavy lens, so I'm not the biggest fan of using that for a long period of time. You know what I mean? I will for a job, but like if it's like for me, an editorial for me, I don't want to carry that weight. I really don't. So you guys let me know. I'll probably have to wait because Sigma is probably going to do one. They already have prime Z mount lenses already, so I'm assuming they're going to do a zoom lens, and I will probably get it, even if I have to save up, or maybe one of these other third parties like VILTROX or TT Artisan or whoever. They might come out with their own version of this zoom, the 2.8 zoom lens, and I may have to go that route. I don't mind using cheaper gear because it's about the photography, is how you use the tools. Yes, expensive lenses, better glass, better build quality, more features is a quality of life change that you will take advantage of, but I don't think it's necessary in most cases. Like this lens, I can't rave enough about this VILTROX lens. And it's my first time ever using VILTROX, y'all. This is my first time. I just feel so happy because, like I said, I'm back to form. This is the body, the lens that I used before. You know what I mean? Like it's that space I had, and I was really honing in. And I was growing as a photographer with this type of setup. And to be back at it at my big old age, I feel like a kid again. Even though I wasn't a kid when I started photography, but I feel nostalgic for that time, and I'm just looking forward to doing more shoots. All right. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Give me some ideas, any questions you may have that I can answer in the next video. I don't know if I'm going to go the tech route and like specifications and all these things and just kind of keep it more real world. Here's what I did on the shoot. This is how I feel about that shoot. And here's the tools I use for the shoot type of thing. That's more my lane. I can't with the technical stuff, but maybe I can. If you guys ask questions, I can kind of give you a bit more. But yeah, let me know, and I will see y'all in the next video.